And we shall see if anyone turns up. I'm not going to put you on me for long because I look terrible. Look at these bags. These bags are carrying bags underneath of them. Looking sharp today. Look at this. Oh yeah. Hopefully cameras are out. I got 100% battery, so we should be good for at least maybe an hour, 45 minutes, an hour. I'm going to hopefully get an hour stream this evening. Good evening, Anna. I see that you're having some bad weather out there. Did you manage to do any more mowing today? I see and hear you clearly. That's good. Did you manage to get any mowing done today? I did read earlier that it was like awful weather at yours. I hate to disappoint you, but we've had sun all day and it's been really warm. Yep, we all got all caught up. Awesome. Gotta bring in that dollar, Anna. It's all about the money. What is in my world, because, you know, in the UK, if you don't make money at the minute, we're kind of screwed. Give it a big thumbs up as well. I've shared it in Discord and I've shared it in the Facebook group. So I've shared it out. I'm monetizing it as well. I didn't, amazingly enough, the graveyard journal that I did the other day didn't get demonetized. So fingers crossed, depending on the content of the other graveyard journals I do. This is just a normal video this evening. Hopefully it won't get demonetized. Can't guarantee that though. I did give a hint to Tammy in the Facebook group what the next graveyard journal topic is. If you saw that, the topic was the next topic of the next graveyard journal was called Preferred Choice of Goodbye. That was your only little tiny hint, and it's going to be filmed next week after the baby's been born on Monday, and probably after I've gone back to work. So it probably ain't going to be filmed to the end of the week because I've got baby duties Monday and Tuesday. I'm back at work on Wednesday and Thursday, and then I have baby duties on Friday. So I don't quite know yet when I'm going to film it, but the topic is preferred choices of goodbye. That's the little sneak peek you got. Yay, baby time. Yeah, Monday. She's going to the hospital at 7 a.m. to fill in the paperwork, to sign her life away, to have a spinal tap, and then fingers crossed she should be in surgery. They're saying around 10 a.m. So hopefully, if everything goes to plan, baby should arrive around 10:30, between 10 and half past, they're saying. They can't guarantee that, obviously, because, you know, it's a hospital. But they are saying that she goes up at 7, she gets prepped, she has her spinal tap, and as long as they get the go-go, they should have a baby between 10 and half past. And then I can go see her. They're saying between the hours of about 12, between 12 and half past 12, once she's come around from the anaesthetic and everything. But if need be, Kieran's going to phone me so we can go up earlier. We're actually dropping them off at the hospital at 7 a.m. I'm actually going with them to drop them off. We can't be there during the C-section and the prepping because they are still under COVID restrictions. But I can go up there they're saying between 12 and past. It could be 11 and past, depending on when the baby comes and everything goes to plan. And then I get to spend the afternoon with the baby and the mum and my son until 6 p.m. and then we can go back up the next day, and then she should be in hospital for 4 days primarily. She may have to have a blood transfusion because her iron levels are quite low. I couldn't wait for Chris to be born. Wonderful duties, yes. Can't wait for my babies to be born, but my pregnancies were rough. Yeah, I mean, Katie's been in and out of hospital. I think at this point it's between 6 and 7 times. So it hasn't been good. But baby is due Monday morning. It's a C-section. It's an elective C-section at this point. She could have tried to have the baby breech, but the complications that would ensue and how scared she was and the stress levels and her blood pressure and the chances of her hemorrhaging, they elected for the C-section, and so did she. So first mother choice that Katie made for the good of the baby was to do a C-section. She's not too pleased that it's come to this. Show me the surrounding area. Oh, okay. Yeah. She's not happy that it's come to this point, because most mothers want to give birth naturally. I mean, they just do. You want to have that connection and that bond and held that baby for the first time, you know, that kind of thing. And there is that chance of being a little bit disjointed from your baby because you didn't give birth naturally. A lot of women that have C-sections generally tend to have postnatal depression because of the trauma and the separation issues. Hey J-Rom, your town is beautiful. Oh, thank you. Yeah, should still have it, obviously. And obviously at this point, with her being a C-section, it is the best way. The safety of her, the safety of the baby, just the entire situation at the minute is more safer for her. And then if she wanted another child, if she was willing to go through all of that again, she'd have to wait a minimum of 3 years to have a second C-section. And they've told her between 3 and 5 years, based on her age, the scarring and everything. They're saying 3 to 5 years before a second one. Yeah, what's important is the baby is fine. She is fine. She is incredibly worried. I've seen her and I've seen my son this morning. We had a good chat. I reassured them that everything is going to be fine. You know, the doctors know what they're doing. I'm just a phone call away. So we're going to drop them off at the hospital. She will do her paperwork and everything. Then she'll be prepped for surgery. And then it will just be a waiting game then for theatre to be ready. Unless there's an emergency C-section that morning or the previous night, there should be no reason to hold off the C-section any longer than 10 a.m. Then we leave her at the hospital with my son because we can't be in there. And then me and my ex are going for breakfast. We are hanging around in Kings Lynn, which is where the hospital is. And that as soon as the baby is born and my son gets out of surgery, he's going to call me. He's going to let me know when we can come up there, when we can come and support him and be there for him. And yeah, I will then go up there with the ex. We will then be up there most of the afternoon. And then at 6 p.m. we have to leave because then the parents then have their tea, the babies are put down, and then I will be up there the next morning after 12. Once a woman has a C-section, they can do natural labour. It's extremely dangerous. So, yeah, she's been told that due to her age, her stomach size, the pregnancy she's had this time, that she would need to have a C-section if she had any more subsequent children. Which in some way gives her a bit of reassurance for next time. You know, that if she wants a child, she can have one. It's just going to be a C-section, and it may be a bumpy ride, because if she then fell into labour early this time, there would be more of a chance of her being an emergency C-section and getting the baby out sooner. So she'd have some, I wouldn't say reassurance of a non-traumatic birth, but it would be more planned. It would be a planned C-section, basically. She would choose to have one, and it would run more smoothly, basically. Yeah, bless her heart. It would run more smoothly. But she does have to wait a minimum of 3 years. The doctors have said, due to scarring, her age, and the trauma with the baby already being breached, she's got quite a lot of back pain. She's had heartburn. She's had kind of chest pain. She's had quite a lot. And with the amount of drugs she was pumped with to stop each, the drugs she was pumped with, you know, she's definitely the second and third one was way easier. Yeah. Understand, I forgot you were driving, and I would say rather you were safe. Yeah. So, yeah, at the end of the day, it's all about Katie, it's all about the baby, and everyone coming together and just, you know, having this little one around. Grandma duties and whatever else. Oh, it's J-Rom driving and talking. Well, be safe, J-Rom. You know, there are some crazy Eli people out there who drive cars, remember? Not in the area you're driving, but there are crazy Elis out there. So I did just to touch on a bit of a note from Eli's stream. I don't know if anybody watched Eli's stream from last night, but I watched his stream where he made some very weird points. And there's only one point I really want to touch on, and it's this. He was talking about, if you want a job, you got to grab it by the balls, you got to get out there, you got to sell yourself, you got to, you know, kind of thing. How is it that if he can give this so much enthusiastic, positive reinforcement that anyone on this planet can get a job, why the fuck is he unemployed? Anybody? How is it someone that can give so much advice on how to be employed, how management work, how business works, how careers work, how is it that he himself cannot get a job? He also said he's not willing to work a 9 to 5 job. He'll only work for himself. He wants everyone else to work so they can give him money. Yes, he wants to create his own cult. That's what he wants. Sorry, I was fighting with Chris. Oh, Tammy. Yeah, he wants to create his own cult of workers. What are we talking about? We're talking about Eli's amazing advice about how anyone on the planet can get a job if they just, like, get out there and sell themselves. You know, if they're willing to put the time and effort in and work a job, any job is obtainable. But Eli himself is unemployed. So he can push somebody else to get a job, sell a job, you know, but he said he doesn't want to work corporate, he doesn't want to work retail, he doesn't want to work insurance, he doesn't want to work for somebody else, which is why he likes the 9 till he doesn't like the 9 till 5, someone else telling him what to do, basically. He wants to be his own boss. And he wants to work independent. Now, working independent can work. J-Rom has run his own independent companies. But the problem is, there's an issue with that. If Eli wants to run his own independent business, here's the clincher. You have to work more than 2 hours a day, my friend. I'm sorry, but I don't think YouTube is paying well enough. He could sell insurance without someone else. In fact, you'd make better money. If you don't have to have partners in your company, then you make more money. But the fact of the matter is that he cannot make enough money by working 2 hours a day. It's not possible. How can you make that amount of money working 2 hours a day? If you're telling me that this YouTube gig is your full-time income, and you think that 2 hours a day is somehow going to generate business and interest and hype and everything, it's like he was dropped on his head when he was a child, or never told, you know what, dear, I've listened to your idea and you are batshit crazy. I work harder and harder hours myself. Yeah, you can do it on your own. If you're wanting to build your own business, it takes more than a few hours. It does. I obviously have a job. I do work 4 days a week. But on top of that, I also do YouTube, which is a business. I also do Vinted, which is a selling business from my own house. So I have multiple incomes, if you want to call it, but I work more than 2 hours a day. I don't just come on YouTube and rant and rave and expect people just to donate willy-nilly. I haven't had a donation in a while, but you don't see me going to people, you know, if you don't donate by the end of this video, I plan to quit. That's it. Shanghai, so long, sayonara, I'm out of here. Do you know what I mean? I think it's important as parents to tell your children when their dreams just aren't foreseeable. Yeah. Hey, you know that dream of wanting to be a life coach? I think you should reassess, my son. You know, I think you should, well, I think you're crazy. I mean, that would be my son wanted to be a gamer on YouTube, so I sat him down and showed him the facts. There's no money in it. I only sleep 4 hours a night. 7 days a week. Wow, J-Rom. To be fair, I've only slept that kind of recently. Thank you to, oh God, I can't read it. Who is it? Tammy for the $5. You know what hard work is, coach. Yeah, we all do. You see Anna out there working these big fucking gardens, you know, moving shit, lifting shit. You got J-Rom, who literally apparently never sleeps. And Tammy wants to teach the kids of our future, you know, some real life goals and some real life lessons. And you've got me, who wants to work in the corporate world of retail and has worked her way up from the bottom over 20 years to where I am now. And do you know what? I couldn't be happier. I may not have tons of money. I may not have a fancy apartment. I don't drive. I don't really leave the house. I don't have many friends. I don't go on holiday very much. But I'm not going to turn myself into a life coach just to validate my existence. Just to give myself a little pat on the back every day of, oh, you got up this morning and you worked 2 hours. Ah, well, that's nice, isn't it? Do you see what I mean? I don't need that kind of validation. I'm always happy when I know I've put in a good day's work. Well, I've been off for 3 days so far, and so far I've done nothing really. I've done a couple of videos. I did my graveyard journal, which apparently you guys loved. Oh my God, the comeback from that graveyard journal. I've had so many messages. I'm always happy. What kind of bird is that? What, the bird in the background? That is a peacock making that noise. That noise is apparently a peacock. There's also a pigeon somewhere around it. You hear that? That little noise is a pigeon. And there are some peacocks, but it is incredibly hard to see them because most of the time the peacocks are actually up in the tree. Yeah, I had no idea that peacocks could get into trees. Did you? Because I didn't know that. Yeah, apparently peacocks can get in trees, and I'm like, what? When did this happen? Never seen a peacock in a tree before, but apparently that is a peacock. You have wild peacocks. Yes, we have wild peacocks. They are coloured, and we also have white ones on occasion as well. I'm so jealous. Yeah, I didn't know they could do that either. What is the time? 9:30. We'll walk around the graveyard and we'll walk that way and see if we can see a peacock. You never know. We might see one. They do hide up in the trees. I didn't know that either. I was totally shocked that a peacock could get in a tree, but apparently they can. But thank you to Tammy for the $5, which turns into £3.90 English pennies. Thank you so much, Tammy. That will go to the I'm employed and Eli's not because I don't necessarily need money off YouTube. This whole thing that Eli's life just evolves around, well, I can't go to a reunion if I don't have money. That's like saying that I'm going to starve to death like Bubbles did if you don't feed me. Like, get off your ass. Go get a job. Go DoorDash. Sell on eBay. Sell on Vinted. Go to a fucking paper round, Eli. We don't have wild peacocks here. Oh, I've been all over and never seen one. Really? Wow. Yeah, we have wild peacocks here. We have coloured ones and we have white ones. Yeah, they literally, during the day, they walk around the doctor's surgery grounds. They just walk around like peacocks. Like normal peacocks. They usually hang out in the trees that are like the opposite road to where we are. So if I can find them, we can film it, possibly. I'll have to go this way. Okay. One of these days I will try and film in the church, but I'm not really a church person because I might spontaneously catch fire. That is the thing. So we're going to go this way and then we're going to walk out the other bit and see if we can see the peacocks. We don't have wild ones that I have in Florida. We do have sand cranes all over the place. Ooh, I do like a sand crane. I've seen them in the UK too, not just like wildly like walking around. We've got some waddles here for you, Anna. Anna likes some waddles. Let's have a look. We've got some waddles. There's some waddles. Hey, duckies. Little mum and her babies. Little mum and her babies. I do like to try and not disturb them too much. You know. Yep, wiggle butts. Ooh. It's very quiet this evening. I doubt you catch fire. Well, you never know. I'm not really one for graveyards. Not graveyards themselves, but actually churches. I do feel that if I was to go into a church that I'd feel, I don't know, I'm very satanic. You know, I do like have very, I wouldn't say culty. I say they're more satanic. Like, oh, I don't know how to put it. You know, the fact I like serial killers and murderers and stuff like that, that's like usually frowned upon. It should typically, you know, be, what's the word? I should typically, when I go into a church, like burn in hell or something, you know, just slight details like that, you know. But hopefully you can see fairly well. I know it's getting dark, but we'll go over this way and see if we can hear the peacocks again. And maybe I'll find where they are. They generally hang around in a couple of specific trees. And obviously, you know, I don't want to disturb them. But this is, over here, this is the doctor's surgery. where they generally hang out during the day, and they just walk around the grass. And I'm just talking just like walking around, just like normally. Raven is a goth for sure. Thank you, J-Rum. Yeah, I think Terry asked me that the other night and said, oh, is Raven a goth? Yes, Terry, I'm a goth, my darling. I like serial killers, murderers, macabre stuff. You know, the next video on my Graveyard Journal series is called The Preferred Type of Goodbye. Now, you make that what you will. The Preferred Type of Goodbye is my next journal for my Graveyard series. So if you want to make of that what you will, maybe try and guess what it's about. It's going to be a very dark series that I'm doing. I'm just hoping that YouTube don't demonetize every video. So when I do my Graveyard Journals, if you feel inclined to donate to help the Graveyard Journals continue, because they're probably going to get demonetized. I can literally see it. No one's going to like a video that's got like death in it. So if we go this way, the peacocks should effectively get louder. You hear that? I'm trying not to talk over it. I don't want to spoil it. Especially if I can find it. Can you imagine it? I really enjoyed the last one. Oh, thank you, Anna. Thank you, Tammy. I got so many views on that. And I'm hoping the more darker I get, the less chance I've got being demonetized. But, I mean, YouTube's a bit fickle when it comes to demonetization. They're not a big lover of it. So you hear that? How cool is that? That is a peacock. I know. I didn't know peacocks did that. There's some stairs down here. I think we're going to go down the stairs. And then if we walk down here, we might actually get a picture. Would you like that? Should we try that? Because you've seen the graveyard like loads of times. I really need a pet peacock. I love that sound. Yeah, I don't really know. That sound is just so different to what a peacock looks like. You look at a peacock and you're like, oh my god, they're so serene and they look all such and such. And then you hear this sound and you're like, what in Jesus' name is that? Like possession of the devil sort of thing. But there are some stairs over here. We'll walk down that way and we'll see what we can see. See if we can catch the peacock. I don't know how easy it'll be to spot a peacock in the dark. I'm going to have to try and film them during the daylight at some point. Possibly. But there should be a way of getting down over this side. And then we can try and see if we can see a peacock. So if you haven't already, thumbs up the stream, share it out. Tell everyone about the amazing peacocks I'm going to try and show you. You'll have to excuse the boy racers. They don't... Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a hedgehog. Can you see him? I don't know if you can see him. Can you see the hedgehog? I don't know if you can. There's a hedgehog just there. I don't know if you can see it. They're cute. They're cute. It's a bit too dark. Oh. I don't think I can light it up. It's right there though. I'm just filming hedgehogs. Perfectly normal. See, people think I'm weird. Perfectly fine. I can't turn my torch on when I'm filming, but there is, I don't know if you can see, but there is a hedgehog right in front of me. That, you see it? There's a hedgehog. He is beautiful. I nearly stepped on him. I was literally walking through and nearly missed him. I don't know if you could see that. I don't know if I can make the picture better. But there is literally a hedgehog just there. Oh, I don't know if I can even show it to you. It was a hedgehog, boys and girls. It's the first hedgehog I think I've seen in a while. We thought Jack the Ripper got you. It's that dark, but I can see a bit. I was trying to show a hedgehog, but I don't have a torch or anything on me. I really need to get a torch. I really need to get a torch so that when I do these walks, I can show you the hedgehog. But he was so beautiful. Honestly, this tiny little hedgehog about this big. What I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a torch and then I can show you stuff like that. I keep saying I'm going to buy a torch. Be careful. Yeah. If you want to donate to the channel, I will buy a torch. I will try and show you the hedgehogs next time. I've seen them before, but I've seen hedgehogs sort of at dusk sort of thing. It's quite late in the evening for hedgehogs. It's 20 to 10, in all honesty. So it's not late, but it's not early. Let's see if we can hear the peacocks again. I'm hoping they're going to make a noise. Let me turn you around, and then hopefully we might hear a peacock, because I believe it's this person's garden or this person's trees that they hide in, and they hide like along here, sort of thing. I'd never, until I moved here, I'd seen peacocks in the wild and like zoos and stuff like that, but I'd never like hear that. How cool is that? That is so cool. Excuse the bus. Question is, where are they? I don't exactly know what tree they're in. Anyone talking? Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate and see if I can find them. What did someone say? Oh, it's saying bye, Raven. You're so close. Yeah. Eli's live in 30 minutes. I must be so fucking close. It's got to be right above your head. I don't know. It's like being in a horror movie and not knowing where the serial killer is. Come on, make another noise. God. How eerie is this? Isn't this just like spooky? I know you can't really see the trees very much, but they are kind of lit up. always feel like somebody's watching me. Yeah, it's a peacock. Peacock's like watching over my head. Go on, make another noise so I know which way to go. I mean, look at this tree. It's like, look at it. It's bloody huge. It is so beautiful here. I've never really been one for like trees, but come on, it's got to be in them trees. I'm sure of it. Thing is, how do you spot a peacock? They're gonna like dangle its little name tag out of the tree. But these trees are so eerie. Oh, I might have to come back during the day. I don't know. I don't want to look creepy filming someone's house, but I want to picture the peacock. I want to catch it like on camera, and I don't think it's gonna happen. They are like stealth peacocks. Stealth peacocks. You know, they're just like there. But I was so close. Like so close. So close. This person's garden must be where they generally live, like at night. But it's so cool to think that there are just peacocks just hanging out in trees. You know, just random peacocks just hanging out. He might just shit on you. Thank you for that, Tammy. Come on, peacock. Where are you? I mean, he literally could be anywhere. I mean, how do you spot a peacock? Is he gonna like spread his wings and like caw. But how cool is it that we have peacocks just randomly hanging out? I mean, there could be peacocks on the lawn. I don't know what peacock looks. That's generally like a horror movie peacock noise. That's a genuine scary peacock. I don't know what peacock poo looks like, but ew. Thank you for that. But yeah, they must live in this like big garden. But what I'll do is I'll come and film during the day one day at the doctor's surgery and see if I can get the peacocks on the lawn during the day. Good evening, buddy. How have you been? I know Eli's live in like 30 minutes. I've got like 60% battery, which is amazing for this evening. I really need to close down some of my other stuff to save battery. You've missed quite a bit, Joe. We've been walking around the graveyard. We've spotted a hedgehog. I know. I was stunned too. And we've been looking for the peacocks that hang around here. And you're going to say peacocks? Yes, peacocks. Peacocks that apparently make cat noises or a very weird screechy noise. And they generally live around the doctor's surgery and the house next door. And you can hear them squawking, but it's unbearably hard to find a peacock in the middle of the night and actually like photograph it or see it because they hide in the trees. It's like having a serial killer in a movie making noises like Jason or someone that you can't see. We also found a hedgehog, and I haven't thought about peacocks. What? And I thought peacocks came from Asia. Well, they do, but for some reason, us Brits do have peacocks in the UK. Tammy, I heard you were in the centre of drama today. Oh, why would Tammy be in drama? Tammy's a good girl. Tammy don't do drama, does she? Don't know what you're talking about. We also found a hedgehog, if he's still here. Good old Hedgie. I don't think he's here. No. Look. This is the stick that I marked him with. Hedgie has shuttled off this mortal coil, or at least moved elsewhere, which is fine. But we did find a hedgehog, which is kind of cool. And then at some point, someone is upset about something stupid shit and they can stay upset. Oh, well, you know, there are a lot of butthurt people in life. Quite a lot of them live on YouTube. Quite a lot of them live in our communities, and they just need to get a life or get a grip. In the words of Coach Eli, get a grip on your life. Either way, I haven't been in any drama for a while because you know what? I'm just going to talk shit about Eli, and then I'm just going to restream him behind the scenes. You know, get a grip on your life. Oh my God, can you remember that? God, it made you want a bitch laughing every time you did it. Sorry, what? Did I say that out loud? Ooh, tell him how you really feel, Raven. Tell him how you feel. But yes, if you'd like to donate, got my head stuck, to the channel and give it a big thumbs up, I will buy a torch so that we can get things like hedgehogs and hopefully ducks on the lawn. I'm going to e-beg like Eli because, well, I have a baby due on Monday by C-section, and I think that's more important than a reunion or a taco fund or whatever bullshit fund Eli has now. Because I did hear he donated to Tiffany. Naughty Eli. Got $10 donation and then donated it to Tiffany? No, don't tell me you did that, Eli. You were what? And then you got Taco Bell the other night? No, I might be crazy in thinking this, but Taco Bell and a £10 donation, isn't that some gas money? Isn't that money towards the pet hotel that you wanted? Tiffany says Eli really gets her. Oh yeah, he gets her. I bet he does. I bet he gets her. I would love for him to do a donation to shut the fuck up. Well, someone has to get him and her. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't really have any... I mean, not that I don't have any issues with Tiffany. I just don't acknowledge she exists. Her and Skady can just both go into the nether. Not interested in either of their drama. Taco Bell is 30. Yeah. Oh, don't forget the alcohol. Just because she had a Taco Bell doesn't mean she was sober. Let's be honest. And probably some cigarettes for Eli. And some weed. I mean, this girl's like rocking out her own black market at this point. But then to donate to Tammy, to donate to Tiffany, when good people like me and Tammy get donations for like honest, decent reasons, and then you get Eli saying, hey, let's donate to Tiffany because Tiffany's having it hard. She ain't having it hard. It's Tiffany having hard. She was and is the making of her own drama. Am I right or wrong? You tell me. Let's have a seat on this grave for a minute. I'm going to perch my ass because I need to sit down for a sec. So we're just going to film this grave over here. Or film the ducks. Either way. Let's film the ducks. Let's bring it in a bit. So you can look at the graves for a bit. So, you know what cures that? A job. No, you said hard. If that gets your rocks off, Joe, then so be it. Yeah, we're sitting in the dark a bit here. But I need to sit down for a sec. So you're just going to have to look at, you know, graves and stuff for a minute. Because I need a rest. You have any idea how hard it is walking around talking and trying to run a business all in a graveyard? Do you know how many people there are around? None, because they're all dead. It's the best kind of support. I prefer dead support. Who else is still here? I know it's quiet tonight because who the fuck streams on a Saturday night? No one with a brain, obviously. Why would you stream on a Saturday night, Raven? They're dead, Jim. They're dead, Jim, but not as we know. Not as we know. Not as we know. They're dead, Jim, but not as we know. Not as we know. Jim, yeah. They're dead, Jim. They're all dead, Jim. We're all still here. Yeah, I was just checking. It's a bit hard to read the chat and walk around a graveyard because, well, I know I'm a woman, but it is hard. I've got to try and look where I'm going. I don't want to step on a grave or in a rabbit hole. Because there's so many rabbit holes, I might fall in one. Become Alice in Wonderland. I mean, there isn't much light here to film, in all honesty, apart from like the ducks. It's coming up to 10 o'clock. It's not the witching hour, that's 3 a.m. So we don't have to worry about any witches coming out. Although in this town, you're more likely to get zombie drunk people than witches. It is a Saturday night, after all. You know. That's what Saturdays are for. Drunk zombies. I thought I'd sit here a minute just to like rest my laurels. Because my laurels are tired. And it's riveting content. Don't say I don't give you riveting content, okay, people? I mean, look, there's some ducks. There's some duckies. I know it's a bit blurry. So thank you to everybody that's here and the 4 thumbs up and the $5 that Tammy donated out of her hard-earned money that she puts time and effort into. I haven't donated to anyone recently because I am saving all my money for the baby on Monday. I've got a lot of traveling to do to and from the hospital, so that's always fun. I mean, nothing is more exciting than fucking bus journeys. And obviously I've took some time off work, so make the most of the time. Yeah, I've got 2 days with them, and then I'm back to work for 2 days, and then I'm off, and then I am on, and then I'm off, and then I'm working 4 days solid. So I do have a lot of work coming up, and then I'm going to book some holiday. What is with that white building? That is a hotel. That's a hotel. That is the George Hotel. It's the Best Western George Hotel. Look, there you go. Look, hang on. It's a hotel. It's a very posh hotel. They have Sunday carveries. They have afternoon tea. It's a very fancy hotel. I've never been in it, but you can have dinner in it. You can have afternoon tea. It also has a banquet place next to it here. This like horrible building here underneath the tree. It's called a banquet room, so you can have your wedding there, your conference there, your Christmas party there, and that kind of stuff. Then we've got a carpet shop, which is there. And then next to that, we have a farmer's / hunting shop. And then over this side, this building here, we have a fishing shop and a Domino's next to that. So I am going to be filming a video for Colin. Now, Colin Butters, if you know, he's used to live here, and he asked me to do an overview of the town one day. So I'm going to film all the shops and everything to show him what's still here as he's looking to come back to where he used to live. He actually used to live here, literally near my house. Nice little place you live, hun. It's a quaint little place. It really is nothing special per se. It is just a quaint little town. We have 7 charity shops, or 8, can't remember which. A kebab, a couple of an Indians, some Chineses, shops, barbers, hairdressers, doctors, schools. Got a community hospital. We have the convent school, which was run by the nuns. It's not anymore, thank God. That was a terrible fucking school run by a nun matriarch. It's special because you're there. Oh, Tammy. Oh, you're so nice to me. What else do we have? We obviously have a graveyard and a cemetery, and we also have, I believe, a Jewish cemetery as well, which I've never really looked at before, but I'm thinking of going there. The thing is, you cannot go into the churchyard and film it because it's classed as disturbing the dead. I do know in Jewish law around death, they do not like graves to be disturbed. I believe that's a rule. And that a Jewish person generally, wherever they die and their resting places, they are left. That is why most of the Holocaust victims, their bones and remnants are still left in the country they died in, because you're not really meant to move them. But I do believe we have a Jewish cemetery. I'm going to Google it and see if I can find some more information, and maybe we could do a video from the outside, and I could film it and I could tell you about it if that would interest anybody. I believe it's a Jewish cemetery. I've walked past it a couple of times, and I believe the writing on the graves are Jewish. I'm gonna have to, like, I think it's Hebrew that's written on the graves. I cannot be 100% certain, not speaking Hebrew or reading Hebrew, but I believe it's Hebrew that's on the gravestones. So there's that we can film. Obviously, Colin wanted me to refilm the cemetery again, because this is a graveyard. A graveyard has a church, a cemetery does not. A cemetery is a plot of land where you have obviously a bunch of graves, and you usually have what's called a chapel rather than a church, which is a small building that usually doesn't tend to have services in. It's more for like blessings, depending on the type of burial you have, or that type of thing. And then obviously he wanted me to film that, which I plan to do down the line once the baby's been born and I've got some free time. www.joinkate.com/blogjewish. Oh, is that to do with the Jewish laws? Okay. That's just so I know the rules and that. It tells you about the rules for Jewish cemeteries. Oh, okay, thank you, Tammy. Yeah, I didn't want to just walk in there and film it if there's some Jewish rule that says to not disturb graves and not to, you know, disturb what's the word? Not disturb holy land, I think the word is. I think it's holy land in Jewish cemeteries. I've known people who were Jewish. I had a few of them in school, but obviously I didn't ask them back then, hey, what's your Jewish laws for burial? Surprisingly, that didn't come up. You might be shocked by that. I didn't just find out what the Jewish laws are for like cemeteries. But if I'm gonna filming them, it would be good to at least know, you know, the like the laws and, you know, what you can and can't do, just to be, you know, what's the word, you know, respectful. That's what I'm looking for, respectful. But as you can see, the churchyard is quite dark now, apart from the magnificent lights that they put on the church, which are just, I mean, well, they're spectacular, aren't they? Let's be honest. The lights on the church, someone had said that the video I took, I took some pictures and I put it on my Instagram, and someone called it beautifully spooky. which I thought was very fitting. Beautifully spooky, kind of like, yeah, I'd go with that. Beautifully spooky was the term. I'm not seeing a rule, but I just skimmed it. Okay, well, I like to make sure, you know, for obvious, you know, reasons. I don't want to just, you know, be walking around, I don't want to be walking around there, you know, I'm not seeing a rule. Okay, well, maybe there isn't one, but, you know, for, you know, for pity's sake, I want to make absolutely sure I'm not breaking some, you know, Jewish law of going near, you know, just to be respectful, because I don't do these videos to like shock or offend or, you know, any of that kind of thing. Whatever I do, I kind of want to be, you know, respectful and, you know, just you know, being respectful basically is the word I'm looking for. You know, if I'm gonna film, I'm gonna film, but I'm not gonna film so that it looks, you know, I don't want to disturb ground if it says not to. I don't want to film if they're like prohibit filming in a Jewish graveyard. I'm not here to make money on the dead, basically. I mean, although I'm in a graveyard and yes, you're paying me, but you see my point. Everything I do is respectful, you know, however I do it. And yeah, that's one thing I stand by when I'm doing all this content, is no matter what, that it's respectful, and, you know, the graves are respected, the families are respected. You know, it's all about respect, you know, of the dead. So, you know, I don't want people to think that I come to a graveyard and I'm filming, you know, graves and that, and then I'm profiting off the dead. I mean, depends how you look at it. Am I profiting off the dead? Maybe slightly. I'm doing like a talk in a graveyard. I mean, it depends how you look at it. It's perspective. Raven doesn't want angry Jew ghosts coming after her. That's not exactly what I meant, but it's respect of the dead, isn't it, at the end of the day? Ooh, the bells. Yes, the bells. They happen every 15 minutes, and on the hour they do the actual dongs. So every 1/4 past, 1/2 and 1/4 you get the little ding ding dings, and then on the hour you get the actual dong dongs, like the actual ringing of the bells, like the 1, the 2, 2, 3 dings, and you get the whole gist of it. So at 1/4 past the hour, if we are still streaming, at 10:15, which is in like 5 minutes, they do the 1/4 past dongs, and then they do the 1/2 past dongs. And I don't know why they dong so much. I mean, I'm lucky I'm not right in the center of town to hear it like consistently. I am how you want to say it, slightly out of town. So when they're donging constantly, I mean, they're there. Ding dong and dong dongs. Yeah, ding dongs and dong dongs, okay? And maybe a ding dong here. You guys always have to pick fun at me, don't you? No matter what I do, you're always picking fun, aren't you? You just can't help yourself, okay? If I'd have said ding dongs, I mean, I'll get demonetized. Now I've said it. We've said dings, we've said dongs, we've said ding dongs, okay? I've got the whole ding dong package, alright? Got ding dong merrily on high. So we have about 40% battery. Hey Colin, we're dinging and donging in the graveyard, but I think we're going to take a little bit of a walk because this grass is quite wet and my feet are getting quite cold. So, speaking of ding dong, is Eli live? Oh, is everyone going to leave me now that Eli's live? Eli's live, so everyone disperse. Run, everybody, run. Eli's live. If you want to all leave me because Eli is live, that is entirely up to you. I'm not going to make you stay because Eli's live. Not yet. You wanted to what? I wanted to call Eli a ding dong. Well, he is a ding dong. He's the biggest ding dong I know. Let's put you on me for a minute because these bloody lights in this hotel. Oh, although Tammy want to see the fancy hotel, so that fancy hotel has a pub. See that? Fancy hotel, look. Very fancy. See? It's very posh. It's really nice though. Never stayed in it before, but it does look fancy. Like very fancy. You can have breakfast and dinner and you have a carvery and stuff. And then there's the kitchen as well. How are you this evening, Colin? I prefer you than that massive Chezzy ding dong. Massive Chezzy ding dong. Ooh, tables and cloths. Yeah, do you know, they even have candles sometimes. They push the boat right out. Yeah, tablecloths. They even have cutlery holders. They have wine glasses, champagne flutes. You get your butter out of a dish. That's how fancy they are. Oh yeah, no packet butter. Their butter comes in like a butter dish. And you take it off the butter. Oh, it's so fancy here. we live fancy here, Tammy. Nothing but the best. We are posh bitches. I mean, let me zoom out a bit. We're posh bitches. A whole stick of butter, you say? A whole stick of butter. Well, what is it? It's literally just I suppose it's called a slab of butter in the UK rather than a stick. But yes, posh tablecloths, champagne flutes, even candles. You might even get some fancy flowers in the middle of the table. Fancy flowers in the fucking middle of the table. I mean, could we be any more bougie if we tried? Bougie flowers in the middle of the table. I know, it's like fucking Valentine's on acid. Posher than Eli. Oh yes. Yes, we're definitely fancier than Taco Bell. It's very fancy, very posh. That's how we are in the UK. We're posh bitches. Kind of like what? Ooh, what are you saying in the chat? Kind of like you say torches and we say flashlights. Yes. Well, they're so fancy. They probably have fucking candelabras hanging from the ceiling or a bloody chandelier. I mean, I don't know. I've never been in there. I'd love to just stay there just to see how fucking fancy it is, or to have dinner there one day and just to be wined and dined. But to do that, I kind of need a man to be wined and dined. I mean, not necessarily need a man. I mean, 35%. I agree. Even the rubbish bin outside McDonald's is posher than that twit. Well, if you want to donate to my posh fund and give it a big thumbs up, donate to the channel, support the channel, support the posh bitch in the UK who's e-begging again. Really get under Nerve Gorilla's like watch list of posh bitches that e-beg, because, well, I'm one of them. I don't know where to go. I've got 35% battery. We should walk this way. Let's walk down here because it's creepy. Should we walk down this creepy road? Look at this. Oh yeah. Look at this, bitch. Look at this. Look at this. It's like Jack the Ripper has come to the UK and is walking down here. I could stay there. It is posh as fuck. Oh yes, Tammy would be like wined and dined. They'd probably even have a ballroom, dear darling. And don't forget the peacocks on the lawn. Don't forget peacocks on the lawn that we have as well. We're fucking posh here, you know. Oh yes, posh fucking bitches. Peacocks and hedgehogs and fucking doilies on the table. Oh, you haven't lived until you've had a posh doily afternoon with a peacock on the lawn. I mean, why not? I had my mum's wake in the George Hotel. Did you? What's it like? Tell Tammy what's it like. Because I've literally just gone past it. And, well, Tammy said it just looks fancy as shit. And it probably is. You want to tell Tammy what it's like? And, I'll have to get out my fancy bitches. Yes. You're going to have to get out your fancy fucking ballroom gown. We're going to have to dress up to the fucking nines. If you get that. I don't know if they use that term in America. Dress up to the nines? Basically means we have to be posh bitches in dresses, but then we get drunk and we just act like British bitches, just like falling over everywhere and just talking shit and being drunk. It's a typical Saturday night, really. A typical Saturday night. What else would you want? Please do tell. Oh, Tammy. I'd be entirely different if I weren't just a common UK bitch. It is posh in there and they can accommodate for your needs, but I didn't stay there. Ooh, accommodate for my needs. Ooh, does that mean like naked butler? Or they could get me a gigolo. Is that what you mean, Colin? Like, how accommodating can they be? Can I get a male gigolo? Or can I get a naked butler? I mean, I'm not fussy. I'd have one or the other, or both. I mean, both? Naked butler and a gigolo? I mean, I'm not fussy. Raven's not fussy, Colin. You are the least common person I know. I need a naked man, Raven. I can get a naked man. I just want one in a butler's outfit that does everything I tell him. I mean, living the British dream. We just want posh naked butlers, okay? Oh, I'm gonna need many years of therapy, I think. I can be your butler. Oh, Colin. Posh naked butlers of the UK unite. Oh, but the George Hotel looks wonderful from the outside. How would he be naked in a butler's outfit? I'll let you imagine that, Joe. Do you not know what naked butler service is? I'll let you imagine that. If not, Google naked waiters. You'll get what I mean. Now, Colin's a friend, Joe. Get your head out of the gutter. Colin is just a friend. I'm not looking to be bourgeoisie with anyone. I am currently single. I've been happy for 4 years. I'm not looking for a man necessarily. If one happens to like be a naked butler and fall in my lap, then so be it. But I'm not exactly looking for one. I don't need a man to make me happy. I don't need a man to validate me, no matter what Coach Eli says about, what was it? That if you're single and alone, you're basically gonna die alone. Like, okay. Like, that's a bit harsh, right? Just because I'm single doesn't mean I'm gonna die alone. I mean, he could die alone. He'll die, his lady will die before him, and then he'll be alone, and then he'll die alone. Be moving back to the UK soon. Well, moving back to Norfolk soon. He's trying. Colin used to live here before I did. I may have lived in the area for... Ooh, how long have I lived here? I must have lived around here for about 2000 and... Ooh, when did I come here? 2015? 215? 216? Can't remember which. Naked butler service. Yeah, 215 I think I moved here. 214. 10th of 3rd 08, or was it 211? It might have been 211. I've been down this way, I think it's 12 or 13 years now. I did live elsewhere with my ex for a foreseeable time, but primarily most of my time has been spent here with my ex, who obviously doesn't live with me now, but lives in the town over from me. Yeah, so we're just gonna walk while I've still got battery. I've got 25%. Moon looks beautiful this evening. Probably doesn't pick it up on my camera, or the church that you can see in the background. It's kind of twinkling. Most places I've lived, you couldn't go walking at night like this. I mean, this is quite a nice place to go walking at night. The town centre gets a bit rowdy on a Saturday night. I was born and raised in Swaffham for the first 24 years of my life. Well, there you go. Colin would know more about Swaffham than I guess I would. I've lived here, like I said, a good, I think, 13 years around this area. So, you know, I have a good... Oh, there's a kitty, look. Kitty cat. Hi, kitty. You're quite tiny to be out. Hey, kitty. Come here. Come here. Come here. Hi. Hello. 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 Look. See the kitty? Meow. Kitty. Ah, a kitty friend. You even got a collar kitty. Oh, look at you. He's a kitty. Ain't he cute, huh? Who's a cute kitty? Have you got kitty friends? Have you kitty friends? Is there another kitty? Oh, do you have friends? Look at you, huh? Aren't you cute? Oh, look at him. Aren't you cute? Oh, hey. Hi, kitty. Kitty, hello. Oh, there he goes. Off he goes. Oh, he's a cute kitty. See, it's so nice walking around here because you never know what you're going to find. And that reminds me of Midnight. It makes me want to cry. I ain't seen Midnight in a couple of days. Midnight, if you didn't know, is my cat that lives with my ex. He was the one who opened the museum. Oh, how sweet. He's so cute. David's Drone Adventure. Hang on. Yeah, David's Drone Adventure. So I'm trying to walk and not fucking fall over. Because you get ducks just like sit on the path and like I'll break my neck. But that cat was so cute. Oh, he melted my heart, that cat. He's got a little black and white. He reminds me of my cat. I miss Midnight. Well, thank you for sharing me out, David. That's very sweet of you. Don't know if you can hear the reeds. is a bit basic, because obviously, you know, all the ducks are asleep. They've literally been fattened up all day with bread and stuff, but I thought I'd walk down here because it's a bit more quiet. Town can get a bit heaving on a Saturday night. My new your hometown, David's. It's Colin's hometown. Yes.